Welcome to the Windy City Rundown. Yeah, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Windy City Rundown. I am Eric Garza. That is Jose Contreras. Welcome to another episode of the Windy City Rundown. Guys, make sure you follow us on all our social media platforms, on Facebook, on YouTube, and all of the other social medias too, Windy City Rundown. What's up, Jose, man? How are you, bro?
What's good, Ocho? No, I'm just playing. What's up, Eric?
We doing that? That's how we're doing it? What's up, Ocho? That's funny. That's hilarious, man. What's up, man? Did you win money over the weekend? First and foremost,
bro. Hell, fuck, bro. I didn't even bet this weekend because I've been on the most losing streak. I've been on the worst losing streak I've ever been in my life. So I'm not gonna lie. I went into this weekend like, why the hell am I gonna bet to lose money? I know I'm not gonna lose money, and I did. I lost money,
bro. Sorry to say that, bro. I did too. But I was close. Out of my 18 leg parlay, I only missed 3. That's the one that hurts the most. I had Josh Allen and the Bills covering, so that was 2-1 right there. What up, Johnny P? Is in the building.
Going on, he's the newest Kansas City Chiefs fan, bro.
I know, right? Like, damn, man, you were rocking that Swifty jersey the other day.
Yeah, he's the newest Kansas City Chiefs fan. Next thing you know, he's gonna be rooting for LeBron, bro.
Well, maybe. I wouldn't be surprised. Nothing surprises me with Jonathan Plyo. That is for damn sure. Ladies and gentlemen, if you guys want to join our conversation on today's episode, the link is in the comment section. Please join us. It's under my name, but regardless, join us on today's conversation. We have a lot to talk about. Obviously, the Super Bowl happened over the weekend, right? I know you and I, Jose, we have a lot of conversations, right? Let's start off like this. I know this is not part of the program that we both discussed earlier, but I want to get this out of the way because it did cross my mind.
Thanks, son.
This crossed my mind after we finished the conversation. But you believe in a good conspiracy theory, don't you?
Oh, 100%.
110%.
I'd be in them rabbit holes like crazy.
How much? Is it a coincidence or is it a conspiracy about the whole thing with the Chiefs and the refs?
I definitely think it's a conspiracy. I don't want to take anything away from the Chiefs. I do think they're really good. That team is 100% amazing. It's great. They're a good team. Yeah. They get a lot of greatness hate. You know, a lot of greatness hate. Something in the Bulls and Michael Jordan era got. You know, something Tom Brady and the Patriots got in their day. They get a lot of greatness hate, and they do get the benefit of a lot of calls. Look, I think all sports to a certain extent can be rigged. I do think there's a lot of money into these sports that are put into these sports for it not to be rigged. I'm not saying that it's all the time rigged. I mean, when it matters, big games. I think you know there's come on. If you this whole world is corrupted, from politics to
don't say that now, bro.
We
just started this journey
to the music industry to everything. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's corruption anywhere. I guarantee you, there's 100% corruption in sports. We've seen it time and time again. So I do say there is some validity to they want the Chiefs being in the Super Bowl, but at the same time, I do think the Chiefs are just that good that they'll be in the Super Bowl regardless.
No, 110%. And obviously, it won't go down after a few questionable calls, I guess, throughout the whole entire game that could change the outcome of the game either for sure. I think, honestly, the first one we can all talk about is the fact that, you know, Xavier Worthy, regardless of whoever the wide receiver with the Kansas City Chiefs was, he didn't catch the ball, right? I think it's very, very self-explanatory that once the ball hits the ground, it's no longer a completed catch whatsoever, right? The second one, I think it was for Dalton Kincaid. that he reached the first down, but they gave him a bad spot. And obviously, everybody's going to talk about Josh Allen did he or did he not cross over the line. And you're right. You're absolutely right. Granted, it still was a good game. Not going to take anything away from the game. It was a good game from the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, going back to the Super Bowl again, and like John's been saying, Vegas making so much money. Chiefs might be the first team to three-peat. All that said, but you're absolutely right. I feel like every great team or every team that has a great run, like the Bulls in the 90s, like the Patriots in the early 2000s or 2010s, depending what legacy or what run you want to give them. We weren't alive, but I bet you that the Lakers and or the Celtics both also got the hate too in the 80s. So I mean, it is bound to happen. But again, it does seem a little bit funny that somehow, some way, they always get the benefit of the doubt at the end of the day. And it's a great talking point, and it gives us talking for the next couple of days, especially for the next week or so. The next couple of days, I think the talk will be over by the middle of the week, by tomorrow, about the Kansas City Chiefs and the rest helping out. But it will definitely be picked up next week once we get close to the Super Bowl.
I don't know who I want to lose more. I mean, I hate the Chiefs because I'm part of the greatness hate. I hate the fact that they're in it every year.
I don't mind.
But I also don't like the Eagles simply because their fans are douchebags. Like, let's look. Outside of my boy Prada, shout out to him. He's an Eagles fan, and I'm happy for him.
My boy Chewy too as well.
But there's a lot of douchebags out there in Philadelphia, man. All I see is videos of people just stealing people's hats, being idiots. Calling them like it's bad, bro. Like, come on, man, grow the fuck up. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no, they're known for their fans and how disrespectful they can be.
I get it, but come on, like I don't know, bro. They're douchebags. I don't. For that reason, I'd rather see the Chiefs win. If I'm being honest,
for sure. But, John's right about this one though. A couple play calling on the Bills looked like Eberflus was calling the plays, and 100% right. Yeah, it did look like Josh Allen and the offense did everything that they possibly could to stand toe-to-toe against the Kansas City Chiefs.
John, compa, I miss you, buddy. I miss you.
And
we gotta hang out soon, brother.
And stupid. And the only thing about that though, the only thing I can say about that though is right. John's right. The defense did fail them, and the defense has failed them time and time again throughout the whole entire year. The whole entire run when they go to the playoffs against Kansas City Chiefs, they find a way to blow these games when you really need a defensive stop. And they're also having that same conversation that we had like about Sean McDermott. Been 8 great years, but I think it's time to move on to the next level for the Buffalo Bills and actually have an opportunity to get over the hump and actually have Josh Allen to have an actual offensive coordinator to get him over to the next level, because the dude's been amazing. He's been flawless this past season.
He needs the Patrick Mahomes syndrome, bro. He needs the refs to be on his dick, bro. That's what it is. He needs the refs.
That'll be hard.
He needs the refs to be in his pockets, man. It's the only way he's going to win anything in the AFC.
Exactly. What did John say? John said Eagles are going to cost themselves the game by trying to make Hurts win the game. I highly doubt it. I think I would have believed that if they didn't use it, but Saquon has been lights out. I think
crazy.
From whatever conversation you could have about Josh Allen, whatever conversation you could have about Lamar Jackson, about them winning the MVP, Saquon Barkley has a real argument of becoming that MVP for this upcoming season too, or this past season, because of the performance he's been putting up. I mean, last week alone, he ran for like almost 100 and some odd yards. They had more rushing yards than the total of the Bulls game on Sunday, bro. That has to say a lot about what the Eagles can do. And you can see a little bit, and I know we're going to dissect a little bit next week, but the Chiefs were vulnerable on the run against the Buffalo Bills. James Cook is a good running back. Saquon Barkley is on a whole nother level, and I think that's the key to the game. I don't think they're going to make Hurts win the game. I think they know what's best for them, and right now that running game, it is the best thing for the Philadelphia Eagles.
It is the best thing for them, but I wouldn't look. What if this is what the Eagles want? What if they just been preserving Jalen Hurts because they know they need him to be great against the Chiefs? The last time he played against the Chiefs, he was lights out.
Oh yeah, they went toe to toe in that Super Bowl. What was it, 2 years ago?
Mm-hmm. So honestly, like this could probably be a good thing for the Eagles. Make them load the box, throw it. You have some good receivers.
Yeah.
You had some good receivers all across the board.
Smith, Brown, yeah.
Yeah, Smith, Brown, Goddard. I mean, like, hey, you got talent. So, I wouldn't count the Eagles out. I really would.
Nah, I don't agree with John's last statement saying that that there should be no reason Mahomes had 2 rushing. Oh yeah, you talk about the Bills. And you're absolutely right. Not only 2 rushing touchdowns, but like 2 pretty decent touchdown runs. I think they're both for over 10 yards for Patrick Mahomes to get to say it. That's why I'm saying that we're gonna be like, what the fuck? Why didn't they feed Saquon more? I mean, last week they didn't really need to. They literally ran over the Commanders. Obviously, it's a week to prepare for that, but it's going to be an interesting matchup, and we'll get a little bit more into it for next week when we break it down just a little bit more and actually have make our picks on who's winning the Super Bowl. But again, it's a great conspiracy. It's a great thing to talk about. The Kansas City Chiefs and what they have become in the last, what do you want to say, 5, 6 years, 7 years since Patrick Mahomes has been the quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs. So it's a pretty damn good talking point about the refs and the Kansas City Chiefs. Moving on, still keeping it to football. Jose, the Bears finally got their coaching staff on the reps. They had their offensive coordinator, a young guy, 28 years old from the Denver Broncos, tight end. He was a tight end coach, and they also got
Declan Doyle, whatever his name is.
Declan Doyle, yeah, I couldn't think of his name. Thank you for backing me up there. They also got Dennis Allen, head coach of the New Orleans Saints, or former head coach of the New Orleans Saints, now the defensive coordinator. The one thing that everybody's been saying, and he also bought Randall L. To be his assistant head coach as well from the Lions. The one thing I want to ask you, Jose, is that when somebody gets a head coaching position, they find buddies, or they find somebody that they worked with before, or they find somebody that they're comfortable with, right? Mm-hmm. And the one thing that stood out to me is that none of them work together, other than Randall L. and Ben Johnson in Detroit.
Well, they brought somebody else from Detroit, didn't they?
I don't remember. That's the only one that came to my head. But my question for you is, Jose, and for everybody on here, join us in the comment section, see what you guys believe and think about what I'm about to say. But is it a good thing or a bad thing that Ben Johnson went other routes instead of connecting with the people that he's really cool with to join him and the staff in Chicago?
I think you get the best with who you feel like. Okay, I think you get the people who best cater what you're trying to accomplish here in Chicago.
Yeah.
Now, if you look at, let's first start off with the defensive coordinator job, right?
Yeah.
You brought in a former head coach who can help you. We all know he didn't do well as a head coach for the New Orleans Saints, but at the same time, he does have experience. Experience is still experience. That's someone he could lean on. At the same time, when we look at his, I'm sorry, I'm blanking on the coach's name, the defensive coordinator.
Dennis Allen.
Dennis Allen. We look at the last time Dennis Allen was a defensive coordinator. He was number one. His defense was number one.
Yeah.
We're talking about as a defensive coordinator. That's why he got a head coaching job to begin with. Remember, he was interim head coaching for the Raiders. Then he went on to become the head coach for the Saints. So there's experience there. And Ben Johnson being an offensive play caller, he's going to need help on the other side. Who better for someone not only who knows how to run a defense, but knows how to run a team. And I think that's beneficial for the defense. That being said, going on to Declan Doyle, he's the offensive coordinator. There's something Ben Johnson sees in him with all the experience he has. He's only 28 years old. He's young, but
very young.
Still a lot of experience. The fact that he was the assistant to Sean Payton in Denver says a lot about that young man. So at the same time, that says something. And we don't need him to call plays. That's what Ben Johnson's going to do. Ben Johnson's going to call the plays in the offensive. But what he can be is someone Ben Johnson can mold, someone Ben Johnson can help grow within this league. And the beauty of it is, even if the Bears are great offensively the next 2 or 3 years, no one's really going to give him the type of credit because everyone knows is going to first go to Ben Johnson. So if anybody does come looking at Declan Doyle, it's not going to be to the 3 or 4 year mark.
Right.
So that's another beauty that, hey, at least there's going to be stability there on the offensive side for Caleb Williams. So I think this was perfect. Because let's say they would have got was it Frank Healy or Haley from the Lions to be the offensive coordinator. One good year or 2 good years, and he would have been off to be an actual head coach. That's my thing, because he's already been talked about now, and now he's in an OC position there in Detroit. So I think this was perfect. I know there's been talks about maybe Darren Rizzi for the special teams coach. If you could do that, even better, because that's another head coaching experience, another head coaching candidate with experience there. I mean, I honestly, you do what's right to bring in for your offense, for your team, and the vision that you're trying to create. And I'm happy so far.
No, yeah, you're absolutely right, Jose, and it's a good thing that, and it's a good point that you bring up, right? And what sticks to me though, everything that you said is correct, spot on, everything like that. And honestly, it's not the offensive coordinator that you're going to lose if your offensive coordinator is technically your head coach. So I mean, you're just the guy. Ben Johnson's just really there to help out a guy to give a promotion, right? That's how I personally see it. But also another thing that sticks to me is what did Ben Johnson said to the players in his press conference when they introduced him as a head coach. Be comfortable being uncomfortable. And I do think that he meant that, and he meant that by his staff around him, other than Randall L, saying that, being uncomfortable around him, being uncomfortable, he's also going to be uncomfortable with people that he's never worked with before. So if he's being uncomfortable with the staff that he has because that's something that he wants to do to become successful, if he's showing that to the players with his staff, what would the players think about that? That he's also part of that solution, or he's also installing that in his own perspective with this coaching staff that he has on his left and on his right. And I think that's a good thing. Is it weird? Yeah, of course, because we're used to seeing, hey, I'm cool with so-and-so. Hey, so-and-so, here's an opportunity here in Chicago to call plays. Come on through. Hey, my guy, come on through. I got you as a defensive coordinator. This is actually, he went out of his way and getting people that he's never worked with, but is A, like you said, already been successful in Dennis Allen being a head coach, and B, an up-and-comer in Dennis Doyle, from that was just a tight end position coach in Denver under Sean Payton. So at the end of the day, it's a message more for his players about him being the next person or being the next guy or whatever. And I'm sorry, him is making the statement to his team that, hey, if I'm saying be comfortable being uncomfortable, I'm going to be uncomfortable too with the people that I'm working with. So that's how I see it. And I think it's a great thing that he's actually doing this and presenting it to his players, that he also is going to put himself in that position.
Yeah. Good point.
With that being said, Jose, I know it's going to be a long time waiting for us from here to the offseason. Obviously, the Super Bowl's in a couple weeks. And there's already been talking about the Chicago Bears and what they're going to do, obviously pre-draft. So I just want to ask you, do you like where the Bears, and everywhere that you've been seeing that the Chicago Bears are going to draft their running back from Boise State, and how do you feel about that? Is that the route
that's it's a lot of rumor, a lot of talk around social media. X, I've been seeing a lot on X, a lot on TikTok. But look, I see why people speculate that might be the case. From all the reports I've been reading and hearing on radio and online, is obviously we all want them to focus more on the offensive line, because without an offensive line, forget about even having another running back or someone as explosive as Ashton Jennings, right? So I think everybody's in lockstep about fixing that offensive line and getting it where it needs to be. At the same time, from what I hear, there's a lot of reports saying that there's actually talent on that offensive line already. That maybe we just bring in two core pieces from the free agency, maybe even draft one in later rounds. And if that's the case, if you could do something like that, if you could pull something like that off, get some valuable starters, at least 2 of them in free agency that's going to come and help, and then draft one in later rounds that you can develop, great. Then maybe you can, selfishly, draft someone like Ashton Jennings. If you look at the offense in Detroit with Ben Johnson, he loved the 2-back set. He loved those explosive running backs. That's why everybody was so confused as to why they drafted Jahmyr Gibbs. But now everybody's like, damn, now we see why. That was a great pickup. That was a great draft pick. And if they could re-emulate, if they could like replicate that here in Chicago, I mean, he's the person to do it. He's the person to
100%.
do it with. He's going to be great. He was second in the Heisman voting, right behind Travis Hunter. So, I mean, that's saying something. You get an explosive back like that, as long as the offensive line is better than it was last year, then you're doing a lot of favors for your young QB. 100%.
Yeah. No, for sure. And everybody's been talking about Trey Smith, who's going to be an unrestricted free agent, who's the right guard for the Kansas City Chiefs. Everybody's been talking about him. They say that the Bears should just present him with a blank check and be like, "Hey, look, you already won 2 Super Bowls, heading for your third one or your second one, whatever. Uh, come make your money. Come protect Caleb Williams. We're gonna make our own run over here too as well." That's the number one target I think on everybody's list. He's a young kid. He's only 27 years old. He's already been in a established franchise in Kansas City, winning games and knowing what winning is. I'm sorry, he's 25 years old. He's going to be the best lineman coming out of this offseason. I think that's the one that the Bears and everybody else kind of wants him to get. He's going to be a hot commodity. Other than that, dude, I mean, you're absolutely right. I think the Bears should just beef up as much as you can over free agency. They need help on both lines, defensive and offensive line. And I think we should do a breakdown in one of our future episodes of what of each player that the Bears need in the positions they need, and how do you feel if that player can fit with the Chicago Bears? But bro, I think it's you definitely need to make that room. You definitely need to make a big statement this offseason with the offensive line and also in the draft too as well. Juice is in the building, says we don't need a back, we need beef. Bring the beef. He'll be locked with the Chiefs. Or with the salary cap issues that the Kansas City Chiefs have, I mean, you got to pay this guy upwards of 20-30 million dollars a season. I don't think the Chiefs have that capability and then so I mean, let him walk. I mean, and hey, he can still test free agency and still come back with the Kansas City Chiefs. So like, hey, this is my value, this is the one I want, make me an offer. So he could take that discount in Kansas City too as well. But again, you go to the Chicago Bears, or the Bears should go up to Trey Smith and be like, here's a check, what's your amount, and then just sign it and take it with us. And that's the main goal, because you're absolutely right. We do not want to see Caleb get sacked. How many times? 60 some odd times? Is that the amount of times he got hit? We don't want that. We don't need that. Whether if it was because of Caleb or not, we just don't need that. We need that man to be standing on his toes and on his feet, delivering the ball to his wide receivers and the tight end and his running backs, and just standing tall. So yeah, you're absolutely that's the one person that everybody's going to keep their eye on. And then Jose, if you want to keep an eye on him, see how good he really is, he's your right guard for the Kansas City Chiefs. So, and he's going to have a tough time. Let me not say tough time. He's going to have his handful on with Jalen Carter, which is, ironically enough, Jose, I want to bring this up to you again because I thought about this earlier, right after we talk about the rundown of the show. But Jalen Carter is another person that the Chicago Bears passed up 2 years ago on drafting him as a defensive tackle for the Chicago Bears. And there's been a lot of noise in the national radio. I want to hear what you think about this, but talk about already comparing Caleb Williams to Sam Bowie, that the Bears have passed up on Jaden Daniels this past offseason. Clickbait, right? Clickbait, just trying to make sure people just try to make people watch the show or listen to the show.
Yeah. There are a lot of things they're saying about Jalen Carter too. Jaden Carter, what's his name, from the Eagles, and how the Bears passed him up to get
Darnell Wright.
But let's be honest, him over here at the Bears, it wouldn't have worked out. He's good because of where he's at. He has a great defensive coordinator over there, and Vic Fangio. So, it's just and the same goes for the that same thought and scenario goes for the Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams. If you switch to quarterbacks, Eric, then people will be saying the same thing about Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
It's all about the situation you're brought into. Both of those players that I just mentioned were brought into great systems with great coaches, surrounded by a great team. It's no coincidence that they're having success at other teams that are well coached, that are well put together, who have great owners. Here in Chicago, that wouldn't have happened. So I'm totally fine with the narratives. Those are clickbait. That's what people need to do. That's what we need to do to get exposure. Come up with
right?
this hot take and just let people bury us in the
And
comments.
bury us because they'll talk about that we don't know what we're talking about and stuff like that. You know when it's absolutely. I honestly I get it. Again, I understand he's trying to get his feet wet into this business, coming a former NFL player too as well, and Chris Canty. But sometimes that's why I don't watch and or listen to national TV and radio, bro, because they were just coming up with the most stupidest thing because they just see snippets of what teams are going through. You and I, we watch the Bears. We can't watch the Bulls because the Bulls decide not to have a TV contract and you can't watch them anyways. And who wants to watch them anyways? Again, they don't know what's going on locally. They're just doing the national attention because they get the national audience because of the position and the platform that they're in. To say that Sam Bowie and Caleb Williams are one of each. Now I get the Patrick Mahomes reference because he also referenced Patrick Mahomes and Mitchell Trubisky, that the Bears passed up on Patrick Mahomes and they drafted Mitchell Trubisky instead in the second round pick that they had to trade up for. But I want to remind everybody that Patrick Mahomes wasn't that guy coming out of that draft. I know right now hindsight is 2020 and it will always be 2020. But let's all remember that the guy coming out of that draft that was already NFL ready was Deshaun Watson. Granted, piece of shit as a human being, but given what Deshaun Watson was when he was with Houston in his first couple of years, that was the guy that was already coming out ready out of college, and not Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes had to sit down for a year, right? He had to learn the system, had to learn the game, which was good and benefited him. But let's not pretend that Patrick Mahomes was there ready to go coming out of college when it really wasn't him. It was really Deshaun Watson. And I think people tend to forget that because of what kind of human being Deshaun Watson had become or has become in recent years. I just want to remind everybody of that one too. So yeah, man. Again, national TV, national audience, trying to get a connect, trying to get a click, trying to get a clickbait here. And it's just stupid because sometimes the shit that they say, bro, is so beyond ridiculous that it makes me not want to watch. It makes me not want to tune in to their shows because of the stupidity that they say. Windy City Rundown here on Facebook, on YouTube, guys. Make sure you follow us on all our social media platforms, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram. The link is in the comment section. If you guys want to join us, if you guys don't follow me on Facebook, just please do. That way you can see the link. If you do see the link, click on it if you want to join the conversation. Tell us how you feel. We talked about the Chiefs and the conspiracy theory that the refs help them out. How do you guys feel about that? Caleb Williams being compared to Sam Bowie in a national TV radio audience. Tell me how do you feel about that? And then apparently Jose and LeBron James are best friends. So that's that. Oh, by the way, speaking of Eberflus,
hell no.
Speaking of Eberflus, do you find it weird that he has a defensive coordinator position already with the Dallas Cowboys?
I don't find it weird. I think regardless of the fact he was in a defensive coordinator position somewhere, I mean, he was a great defensive coordinator in Indianapolis. Yeah. And it showed that he was great on the defense here, even here in Chicago.
Yeah.
So I think, so I think honestly, I think I don't find it weird at all. I just think they were the ones who were going to ask for him, and it's going to make great TV when they play the Cowboys this year.
Hi, Oli Bolly. Saw you in the background. Oli Bolly making a special appearance. Say what's up to the family, Oli.
Hi, Oli.
Hi. The best special guest that the Windy City Rundown has ever gotten to the date.
Big facts.
Yeah. All right, man. Jose, there's a week left for the NBA trade deadline, my guy, and it doesn't look like it doesn't look like the Bulls are gonna do what I've been asking or been wanting to do. Not either one nor the other, Jose. So it looks like I have to pick a new NBA team. But the one thing I will say, though, that everybody from the Chicago Bulls outside of Matas is available for trade. Is everybody really available? Is even Kobe White? Would you keep Kobe White? Is there anybody in the Chicago Bulls that you would keep to still build around this organization, or everybody needs to go.
I mean, Max Levine is playing up to his contract now that he knows he's about to get traded.
Yeah, right.
I don't know if he's just trying to. I don't know if maybe he has a spark or he's motivated because he knows, hey, like he knows his team isn't going anywhere and he really is trying to get traded. So like he's trying to go to a good team or he's trying to put on, not I don't want to say a front or a show because it's impressive what he's been doing this year so far. I just find it funny that it's happening now. You know what I mean? Like right before the trade deadline, like, hey, like, and if you're one of these other teams and you're looking at him, you're like, hey, why not? I mean, he's playing well. Pair him up with somebody else, and who knows? I think he gets traded. I think he's been showing up and showing out. And if you're the Bulls, you're open to trading him. I mean, his stock is probably higher than it's ever been, and hopefully you get something back. But I don't think anybody is untouchable on this team. I think everybody's up for grabs, 100%. To me, you got to blow it up. You got to start from ground zero. Trade Vooch, trade Levine, hell, Kobe White, trade him if you got to. Honestly, I don't care, bro. There's nobody on this team at all whatsoever. Yeah. Patrick Williams should have been gone a long time ago. I mean, I said it. I was never really a fan. I didn't think he was going to be great. And no shot to him. Look, hey, beat an NBA, that's an accomplishment. I just think, as far as the Bulls concerned, that was a bad draft pick.
It was, especially when you had Halliburton right there just waiting. You know what I mean?
100%. That's what I'm saying. There's no untouchables, Eric. Get rid of the whole team. Blow it up.
Blow it up. No, you're absolutely right. I mean, I really wouldn't say untouchables, but for sure, like they say, Matas is not one of them. And I think what's his name? Who do we got? Who do we get? Giddey from OKC. Him too. I think they just traded him, so I don't think those are the two that will get traded. Even though Giddey, I think, has like a year or two left in his contract, and Matas, I think they just drafted him, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't see why not trade him. Matas, whatever. I mean, I get it. You just drafted him, so he's probably not going to go anywhere. But everybody else got to go.
Everybody else got to go.
Everybody else got to go.
Would you bring back Jimmy Butler?
Hell no.
No, not even.
No, bro. For what? Like, you don't got a team to surround him with. He's somebody that gets you guys over the hump type of player. He's not somebody that you build around.
Yeah.
Yeah, but come on, look. The Miami Heat organization was always synonymous with consistency and greatness. Yeah. Pat Riley knew what the fuck he was doing. Eric Spoelstra's a great coach. Yeah. Like that team is always in it. They're great. And look how he's acting over there. Like, come on. You think over here with this organization, with this owner? Come on, bro. There's no way in hell. That's not
I mean, hey, it was just a shout, bro. I don't know. Because there's a lot of players that have been roaming around or has been rumored with the Chicago Bulls, like a Bradley Beal. That's another hot commodity out there that, they want to get a restart. They want to get rid of him out there in Phoenix because of salary cap issues. And also he hasn't fit. He hasn't fit with the Phoenix Suns down under in Phoenix. So that's one. I've seen a lot of trade aspects of like Bradley Beal comes to Chicago with a bunch of draft picks and like another player or two. When Zach LaVine goes up north to Milwaukee, the one that's actually pretty crazy, the Bulls want a first-round pick for Nikola Vucevic. I mean, he's been playing lights out. I mean, as stat pads that we've seen and the games that we heard, because we can't watch him again, that they want a first-round pick for Vucevic. Are the Bulls in a position, bro, to ask for picks? They should just get whatever they can just get just to get it all over with and blow it up, or do they? I mean, obviously, right? They do have a right to ask for what they want, but are they even in the position to even ask for what they want?
The Bulls, I mean, yeah, if you have players that teams need, of course. Look, I get us as fans. We're saying everybody got to go, right? But we do it. We want that because we want the team to blow it up and start from scratch.
Yeah.
But the Bulls, if they don't get great offers, I mean, to answer your question, yes, I think with what they have, yes, of course, you gotta go with the highest bidder. With the way Zach and Vooch have been playing, of course, yeah, you wanna try and see what you can get. What's the best offer you can get? So that's just your job. You do your due diligence. If you're AK, you're Eversley, talk around the league, see what you can get. At the same time, other teams know what we know, and that's that you want to get rid of these players. You want to start over because right now you're going to be in mediocre hell. You're not going anywhere. Other teams know that. These players that you have here are the second, third option than other teams. They're not number one. They're not the number one guys. So they also know that. So I don't blame them for offering quote unquote or lowballing them. You know what I mean? Like I don't blame them at all. That's just how the game is played. But yeah, if you're the Bulls, you do your due diligence, see what you can get, and hopefully it's something that's great in return.
So the $1 million question, Jose, is that will I still be a Bulls fan by next week?
I think so. I'm not gonna lie. I think now it's looking more likely than it was before. I really do think I really do think Zach LaVine is gonna get traded.
Yeah,
I really do.
I just hope so, bro. Because
the second $1 million question is that are you gonna be happy with that?
What, that he leaves?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, of course.
Or happy enough to stay a Bulls fan if he leaves.
Look, bro,
because you still have Reinsdorf as your owner.
I do. I do.
Still have Reinsdorf
I do still have Reinsdorf.
It could be far worse than where we're at right now, Eric.
Yeah, that's 100% true. You are 100% right, bro. But honestly, I just need one of the two gone because I look at Zach LaVine and I look at Zach LaVine as the epitome of how pathetic the Bulls have been for the last 5, 6, 7 years, however long he's been here, right? I mean, we got him when he was a young chick, and now he's about to be 30 next year or this year, and I know this is gonna sound bogus, and I don't know what other way to put this, bro, but I see Chicago Bulls and Zach LaVine, and all I see is loser, like just in perfect sentence. Zach LaVine, loser, Chicago Bulls, bro, and that's what pisses me off. That the fact that I have somebody that's synonymous with losing, and it's the picture of Zach LaVine in the Chicago Bulls uniform. And it's bogus as that sounds, but it's been true, and I've been harping it, and I've been saying it, and I've said it when we first started the JCA Sports Podcast that he is not the guy for the contract, and then all you guys are screaming about is unity, togetherness. This proves that the teams that NBA free agents are going to come to the Chicago Bulls because they take care of their own. When in reality, that wasn't the right move, nor will it, and it would never make sense to me in a million, billion, trillion years that the Chicago Bulls did this. You know what I mean? And it's just, and the Bulls were just only great for like 5 months after they constructed that team with DeMar DeRozan, Lonzo Ball, Zach LaVine, and Vucevic. Like they were only good for like 3 months, 4 months, and haven't been right ever since. And it's synonymous with Chicago Bulls, Zach LaVine losing. Like, he's a loser. That sounds mean, but it's true. Ever since he's been here, they've only had one winning season.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just
I get it. It's not all his fault, Eric. It's the way they constructed the team around him. It's honestly, I still don't believe in Billy Donovan as a coach. It really isn't his fault. Look, if you're him, you take the money. In any league, doesn't matter if it's NFL, soccer, baseball, football, if that type of money is offered to you, then you take that money. That's not his fault. That's the organization's fault.
Yeah, I know. I understand that.
So
they give him the next year
loser, but calling him a loser is mean, but it is a bit unfair. It is a bit unfair because again, it's not like he deemed himself the number one player. It's not like he said, "Hey, it's not like he came out being cocky saying, "I'm the guy."
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's different. Like, hey, they gave him that money. The pressure was there for him to be the guy, and he didn't live up to it.
I hear you. I hear you, but it doesn't take away from the fact that
he underperformed. That's basically it.
Right, he underperformed, but it doesn't take away the fact that the players are the same somewhat core of players when the new players have came in played a lot better when he was off the court. Like that to me just spoke volumes and volumes
I don't
that
know.
that he's not a good player, or he
Or
because he
or was it the fact that maybe DeMar DeRozan, who was on this team prior to this year, demanded the ball more? I look at this year with DeMar DeRozan gone, you're actually seeing the surrounding players playing better. You see Zach LaVine playing better. You have Vucevic playing better. I think it's a number. I think it's a number of things. Obviously, the way when DeRozan was here, there was it's one of those too many chefs, not enough cooks in the kitchen. Too many barking orders, too many number one guys, or potential, or I don't know, hypothetical or whatever guys who think they're number one guys.
A lot of B1 talents.
And nobody's taking the back seat. Nobody was trying to take the back seat. Look at DeMar DeRozan now? He's nowhere as good as he was when he was here in Chicago. So
out of Sacramento.
To that, I kind of contradict myself in a way, but to that I kind of give credit to Billy and the team around here in Chicago. But now that he's gone, now you're starting to see Zach flourish a lot more. You know what I mean? So I mean, I get it. I get what you're saying. I hear it. I don't put too much blame on him. I don't. He underperformed. That's basically it. He didn't live up to his contract, but he shouldn't have got that contract to begin with. You were right. You were right in that aspect. He shouldn't have got that contract to begin with, but he did, and he didn't live up to it.
I don't know. I just want him gone. If not, I got a list of teams that I could pick right here to do my new teams from here on out.
We got about 18 minutes, man.
15 minutes.
Out of those teams, what are those teams? Let's remind the fans. What are those teams? I see the Warriors. I see
the Pacers, Celtics, and the Mavericks.
Warriors, Pacers, Celtics, Mavericks. So that's the final four, right? 2 from the East, 2 from the West. All right. So that's process of elimination. Let's get rid of the West first. Warriors, Mavericks.
I'm definitely getting rid of the Warriors. I literally.
We got rid of the Thunder?
Since I've only could watch national games and I can't watch my local team play, I've been obviously the Warriors are going to be a lot on TV simply because of the name and Steph Curry and whatnot. And you could kind of tell that this is kind of the swan song for the Golden State Warriors and their dynasty that they had built over the last 10 years or so, give or take. Like you could see, like this is it. Like they're slowly starting to die, sports metaphorically. I'm not literally, but in sports aspects, like that dynasty is slowly dying. And I don't even know if they even have a plan to even what's going to be next. Like, what's the plan for the Golden State Warriors for the next 5-10 years? Because Steph is only getting older. Yep. He doesn't look as sharp as he once did. It looks like it's a lot of pressure on him, and he doesn't even have a lot of help. So I don't even know. So I can easily take off the Warriors. Thank you for coming. Possibility for here.
Did we take off the Thunder? When did the Thunder get off? I'm surprised the Thunder's not on there.
You know what? We didn't even do that division because I don't see no Houston Rockets. I don't see no Thunder, and I do like the Thunder. The Thunder are sneaky good.
Do you want to add them? You can add them.
I'll add them right now. The Thunder are sneaky good, bro. And you're right. As SGA and his shape shifting abilities, bro. It is so. I mean, the Thunder are good. They're young.
That's how you know you and I are lockstep. We are conspiracy theorists. I knew he was a reptilian the whole time.
They're young, they're talented, and they have a future of having 7,627 picks in the next 7 years of draft picks, my guy. So they can do whatever they want in the next couple years. And I actually do like the OKC Thunder and watching them a lot more.
All right, put them on the board.
I am. Go ahead and talk while I'm writing.
All right, so since you're putting the Thunder on the board, we'll go back to the West with the Thunder and Mavericks. I feel like that's a really better matchup for you. What about Pacers and Celtics? With the Pacers and the Celtics in the East, 2 young up and coming teams. Well, I don't want to say up and coming for the Celtics. They've already won championships. One well-established team in the Celtics, one up and coming team in the Pacers. If you had to choose between those two, which one would you root for in the East?
Longevity-wise, the Celtics have it over the Pacers. Better market, historical aspect.
Yeah.
We've seen the Pacers come and go, right? We've seen the Pacers give it back like 10 years ago. Paul George before his horrific injury with USA Basketball.
Paul
Pacers
George,
were,
Roy Hibbert,
yeah. You
Lance
even see it. You even saw it a little bit in the '90s with Reggie Miller. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
you see it.
they're a feisty bunch. When they're on, they're a feisty bunch.
When they're on, they're a feisty bunch and they stick around. But the Pacers are a perfect example of, I'm here for a good time, not a long time. You know what I mean? Like they always have this stretch of 3, 4, 5 years of doing really great. And since they're a very small market team and don't really have that rich history of being a big market team, is what hurts them a lot. And they actually give up a lot of players. Now they do well. They do scout players well. They do draft players well. Or sometimes they get lucky and have like an idiot organization, a dumb organization like the Chicago Bulls, and giving them Tyler Halliburton. But again, the Pacers to me feel like they're here for a good time, not a long time.
It's a good time though. It's a good time.
It's a great time.
They get to the Eastern Conference Finals when they are on. You know what I mean? And it's a great time.
But how long would it last? Like how long before this fuse just, you know what I mean? And you're right. Out of all the other teams, out of the Warriors, the Celtics, the Mavericks, and the Thunder, the fucking Pacers are just an hour and a half drive away from me, and I could go watch them at any single time. And their games and their tickets are not as expensive, so I could go watch a Tyler Halliburton every single time, or whenever I want to.
You got a brother out there in Indianapolis, you could always.
And my brother's out there. Shout out to my brother. What up? Shout out to my sister-in-law Sarah. What's up? And yeah, I could just go out there and just see him. I already been to that stadium. That stadium is nice, by the way.
There you go. I
I
would have tried the Pacers, but that's me.
But again, I want longevity. I need longevity. I feel like the Pacers just have like a run of 2 years left in them, in my personal opinion.
I don't know.
Maybe that. 3 at the max. Because again, a small market team.
I just think they're a superstar away. You don't have a superstar. I think they're a superstar away.
And it's not to be disrespectful, but it's Indianapolis. Like, what's so good about Indianapolis?
The Royal Rumble's in Indianapolis this Saturday.
You know what? We'll talk about that later. That's how we're gonna end the show with the Royal Rumble because I want to know your predictions about it.
Yeah.
Shout out to my baby Sophie who's going this weekend to the Royal Rumble.
Oh, shout out to her.
Shout out. Mavericks and Thunder.
Mavericks Thunder.
Now, bro, look, when we picked the Mavericks, I went on a long high praise for Luka Doncic.
I love Luka. You can't go wrong with Luka.
I fucking love Luka, bro. When I saw him play live last year against the Bulls, shout out to my radio station for giving me the free tickets for Christmas. Bro, different animal, bro. Different beast. Different. But throughout the time that we haven't done the shows, or we've been very spotty with the shows, and we've been watching a lot of basketball, bro, the Thunder, they snuck up there, bro. They legit snuck up there. And it's hard. Like, this is legit hard of me actually picking one team if I had to choose. Because they both wear blue. I like the OKC Thunder colors. They don't have the history. The Mavericks do. But they got a future. And the Mavericks' future is long, but it's not that long. As for the Thunder, it's super long.
I feel like the window is a lot shorter than the window. The window is closer to being shut with the Mavericks than it is the Thunder.
No, 100%. It's like the Thunder is like halfway, 3/4 closed.
No, the Thunder. The Thunder's barely open.
The Mavericks. You're right.
The Thunder just opened.
The Mavericks don't even have the frame up, bro. It's just a wide open space. Like there's no window frame on there whatsoever. It's a wide open space. Like, and they're just looking at it like, huh, it looks nice. As for the Mavericks is like halfway, maybe 3/4 closed. And that's what scares me. And that's what's kind of turning me off about the Mavericks.
You got 10 seconds. You got 10 seconds to think about it.
Give me the motherfucking Thunder.
Let's go.
Give me the Thunder.
All right. Here we go. Thunder, Celtics. Do you jump on the bandwagon for the Celtics?
Or do I do the cool hip thing and be going with the Thunder and the shapeshifters?
Now, again, for those who are just watching, this is only if the Bulls don't trade Zach LaVine,
Oh yeah,
and
100%.
or if Reinsdorf doesn't sell the team by February 6th.
How about this?
If one of those two things happen, Eric is a Bulls fan.
You know what? We'll leave it at this. It's between the Celtics and the Thunder. Yeah. And if the Bulls don't trade Zach LaVine by the trade deadline, I will reveal my answer on the following episode of the Windy City Rundown and reveal to the world who am I choosing between the Celtics and the Thunder.
That's a pro. That's a consummate pro right there.
That is what a professional does, and leave everybody for on a future episodes for everybody to come and watch the show and who I'm choosing. So
good job, Ocho.
Do what I can. I mean, I look like an Ocho. Look how fat I am. Anyway, so yeah, it's between the Celtics and the Thunder that I'm going to choose if the Bulls don't trade Zach LaVine next week in the trade deadline. And the following episode after that, I will show off my shirt on the team that I'm going to represent from here on out for the rest of my life. So stay tuned for that. That's what you call a segue and a tease. And that's what you call a tease. Sorry, not a segue. That's what you call a tease. All right, Jose. Let's last 5 minutes of the show. We're gonna talk a little bit about wrestling for all our wrestling fans out there. Royal Rumble this Saturday. First of all, Saturday night main event. Good or no?
It was all right.
Yeah, right. I felt like I if there was any perfect opportunity for Jey Uso to win a title, it was Saturday night main event.
Yeah, it was, but at the same time, well, you know what it was. Because it was, but then I feel like you got to change up storylines.
No, when it comes to WrestleMania. Not really. You really don't.
If let's say Jey Uso would have won, who do you put against him at WrestleMania?
No, you don't. It doesn't even have to be at WrestleMania.
It has to be at WrestleMania. No, you're not going to give the belt to Jey Uso just for him to lose it right before WrestleMania. I mean, you already did that with him with the Intercontinental title. That was stupid.
Right. That one I agree.
You did it for the cheap pop, for the pop of the fans, for the surprise, and then he loses it a week or two later. Like that made no sense.
Right.
You don't do that with the World Heavyweight title.
But for this, Jose, think about it this way. Let's put it into this perspective, right? Yes, he declared himself for the Royal Rumble. Got it. Let's just say he does win, hypothetically. This is the storyline that I was getting, and I talked myself into the storyline, right? You don't make him lose in the Royal Rumble, like you don't. But you do have the Elimination Chamber, and what's after the Elimination Chamber after that? There's one more PLE.
No, that should be it. Before it was Fastlane, but I think now Fastlane is
no longer existing.
I don't know. It was Fastlane, and that could be it because it's like the Fastlane to WrestleMania.
But what's the one storyline that you want to have a World Wrestling a match with the title?
Look, bro, the main storyline I want to see in the title, especially at WrestleMania, is John Cena and Cody Rhodes. That's the big money match. I will accept Cody and CM Punk because especially and it might go that way with the storyline they had on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
I would even accept Cody Roman because they're at 2 apiece at WrestleMania. A trilogy has to be had eventually. I will even accept that, but that's my last option. It has to be Cody Cena for me. That is the biggest match they can do. If I had the book, if I was Triple H, Cody Cena, Roman Rock.
Okay.
That has to happen. It has to happen. Then CM Punk, you have him go. I predict if we're gonna make our predictions for Rumble, I think CM Punk wins it. I think he goes after Gunther. I know he said he was gonna go after Cody, but I think it makes logical sense for him to go after Gunther. Or actually, now that I think about it, with the way everything happened on Monday, it'll be weird for him to all of a sudden go after Gunther after he said he was gonna go after Cody. So I think Cena wins the Rumble, goes after Cody, and then Punk wins the Elimination Chamber and goes after Gunther. But that's just how I view it. Otherwise, what else do you do? Nope.
That's why you should have made Jey Uso the champion on Saturday. And then you give the title to Seth Rollins. That way, you get CM Punk, Seth Rollins for the heavyweight. You're right. You make Cena win the Royal Rumble, face him against Cody. CM Punk wins the Elimination Chamber. You got CM Punk, Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. Main event for the title, night one.
Bro, and this is why WWE right now is beautiful, because like you don't know what's gonna happen. It could be Punk,
to go.
It could be Roman, it could be Seth,
it could be The Rock.
It could be The Rock, or what was the one match everybody wanted to see with Gunther last year at WrestleMania? The main match that never happened because of the allegations and everything. There was one match that everybody wanted for Gunther at WrestleMania. It was against Brock Lesnar. It was Brock Lesnar. So what if Brock Lesnar comes back? Because now those allegations are gone.
Yeah.
Those allegations are gone for
they've really been mentioning his name a lot.
Well, not only that, but it's been settled. So what if, and Brock's in the clear for all we know. So what if he comes back, he wins it, and he beats Gunther, or he fights Gunther at WrestleMania for the title? That's a big money match.
That's huge.
But then again, like, then what do you do with CM Punk? I feel like CM Punk has to get a WrestleMania main event. But it's either going to be against Cody or Roman, or I don't know. That's the thing. That's the one thing. And I love that fact that I don't know. Because
true.
CM Punk still has a favor from Roman and Paul Heyman that he needs.
Yeah.
So what the fuck is going on? I don't know. but that's just me. That the men's side, if I had to choose, I think Cena. Because why would you not have Cena versus Cody for a potential record-breaking 17-time championship at WrestleMania? That's you'd be dumb to not book that.
Nah. But do you think he does it though at WrestleMania? Like, you honestly think he breaks the record at WrestleMania?
That's a different storyline. That's for another day. It's if that happens. But if we're playing what ifs, I think so. I think so. I think just like the NFL wants the Chiefs to be the first team to three-peat, I think WWE wants John Cena to break the record, because again, he's gonna stay in a role for WWE. He's just gonna be like an ambassador. Why not have that record broken? Right. Now, if it's not Cena breaking that record, only one other person should break Ric Flair's record, and that's his daughter, Charlotte Flair.
Oh, for the women.
If it's not gonna be John Cena, it has to be his daughter Charlotte, which, by the way, has declared for the Royal Rumble.
She did.
And I think she wins.
She wins it?
I think she wins it.
And it has to be. It has to be Tiffany Stratton, Charlotte Flair, right?
100%.
100%.
100%. And I think you have Tiffany Stratton lose at WrestleMania. Only because everyone's kind of, Charlotte Flair is another person who kind of gets that greatness hate. Everybody kind of gets tired of her being booked and getting the championships over and over and over. But I think that benefits WWE this time around if you put her against Tiffany at WrestleMania, have her win, because then that gets people tired of Charlotte, making her a really good heel, a really bad heel that people hate. Mm-hmm. And then you put Tiffany Stratton in a Cody Rhodes scenario where she's chasing Charlotte to get that title back whenever. And remember, SummerSlam is a 2-night event this year in MetLife Stadium. So
it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Tiffany wins it back.
I'm locked in, Eric. I'm locked in.
I am so excited for that. Outside of the storylines, obviously the Royal Rumble is always known for special guests. Do you have an underdog of a special guest coming in for both the men and the women, or just one or the other?
I think I kind of said Brock Lesnar as the men's. I think he'd be the surprise. I really don't know who else would be a surprise. I think you're gonna get some guys from TNA now that WWE and TNA have that partnership. Maybe their TNA champion Joe Hendry makes an appearance.
Because Jordan Grace did it last year, right?
Yeah, which, by the way, she's now signed with WWE officially.
She's in NXT now.
Yeah, so I think Brock Lesnar will be the surprise, and I think for the women, I think we're gonna see Becky Lynch, but I also think we might see AJ Lee.
That's the sexy pick right there.
I think we might see her.
That's the sexy pick. I think we might. And what's great, and what's crazier is like who would get the biggest pop if you were you're two people, Brock Lesnar and AJ Lee. Who do you think would get the biggest pop?
I think AJ Lee.
Yeah,
I think AJ Lee for sure. Alexa Bliss is what was rumored to return too, but there's actually contract disputes between her and WWE. The WWE wanted to keep her on her current contract or her contract that she had before she went on maternity leave, and she's looking for more money. So I don't know if that's gonna happen. It can, it definitely can. We've seen crazier things with CM Punk. I mean, they said that they had to write up
a contract right then and there, like
contract
before, right?
literally like 2 days like prior. So yeah, so crazier things have happened, but I think AJ Lee will probably be the biggest surprise. And remember, she stays in shape. She stays in shape because she did a wrestling show for Netflix. So like she was like there's a women's wrestling show on Netflix, and she was like one of the ones who were like helping train the ladies. So she stays in wrestling shape.
There you go. All right, cool. We got that. We got that in there. The wrestling segment on the Woody Sitting Rundown. Hopefully, it'll become a wrestling podcast. We'll keep you guys posted on that one. We'll get when we have our days settled. We will let you guys know and make you guys watch our show. Thank you everybody for joining. From John to Andre, everybody watching, everybody liking our show. Guys, make sure you follow us on all our social media platforms, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, and also on the TikTok as well. One last thing. Any last comments to say before we leave?
Yeah, man. Shout out to AEW. They've been getting a lot of bad publicity and criticism, and rightfully so. The booking has been pretty bad, but this past Saturday in Collision, I watched both Saturday night's main event at WWE with WWE, and I also watched Collision. And I must say, I enjoyed Collision a little bit more, especially the segment between their women's champion Mariah May and Toni Storm. Great, really, probably the best thing going right now in AEW are those two women. They are fantastic, man, fantastic. WWE. I don't want to say they messed up by letting Toni Storm leave. Toni Storm did leave. She didn't like the schedule they had, but she's one of those bright spots in AEW, man, for sure. And Mariah May is amazing.
Just remember tomorrow, Champions League, everybody. Every single game. You have 18 games tomorrow at 2:00. If you want to have win the 18-leg parlay, it is tomorrow in the Champions League. Put everybody to score, both teams to score.
Liverpool money line, Eric.
Parlay.
Liverpool money line.
Everybody over 1.5 goals. The whole entire game.
Liverpool money line, book it.
Book it.
Yes.
I think so. I think you're probably right on that one. Let me double check.
I'm always right, bro. Come on. I told you. After they beat that one team, I don't remember which team you guys were making fun of me in the chat. After that one team, they were back.
The team that was in League 2 of the the English league.
That team. After they won that team, they were back, man. They were winning left and right, scoring goals like nothing.
Okay, tomorrow. They are in the Netherlands against PSV. Oh, that's a good one. PSV Eindhoven. That's a good game tomorrow. All right, so we'll do that. That's make sure if there's an 18-leg parlay, make sure you hit that right there. Hey man, look who decided to show up. It's Alex the one, my boy. Alex
extraordinaire.
Look at that. What's up, buddy? Welcome to the show.
Hey, listen to the Mega Mondays on WindyCityUnderground.com.
Free
that man is he's a pro, man. He's a pro.
Pro.
Yeah.
All right. So we're previewing Royal Rumble next week.
Oh, one more thing with Alex the One. Hey, good luck, man. I know.
Yeah, good luck, bro.
Good luck on my vote. The 312 reports. Yeah, you got our vote, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Royal Rumble we're gonna Royal Rumble next week's show. We're also gonna preview the Super Bowl. Gonna give us our picks. We're gonna see by this time next week that if the Bulls do trade Zach LaVine and the following show, like I said, pick my new team after that. If they don't trade him, that will be our show for next week. For Jose Contreras, I am Eric Avila. Thank you guys very much for joining in. Alex, good luck. I got you, my guy. Hopefully you do well. Andre, John, everybody, thank you for watching. As always, Jose, hit the motherfucking outro. See you guys next week.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
He's running like he's got a lobster down his pants, showing that he is as slippery as a bar of soap. Like poop through a diarrhea-infected goose.
Commented about it.
That's fine. I'm not laughing about it. You think this is funny? I take this serious.
I'm not. I'm
real serious. I put my heart and soul into this every single week.
Are we done here?
It's about time.